Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's my opinion. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's my opinion. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's my opinion. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's mine, but you don't have to like it. Welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion. Brian, Lorenzo, Greg here. Do not forget, share, subscribe, follow, put your comments down here. Also, if you see me again with the shirt, don't forget Sam Rizzo. Put his Instagram down here. You can go follow him on Instagram. Got an upcoming fight on June 21st at Motor City Casino. So if you are from Michigan, Detroit, surrounded areas, don't miss it. Keep an eye on his Instagram. He's gonna post when the tickets are available. He's gonna let you know. You can reach out. So follow him here on the Instagram here. And don't forget to follow us as well. Just my opinion. Now, we're going to start with your topic because I know we were talking about it. So I'm going to take advantage of you're passionate about it. It's like kids and sport at school, traveling.
Yeah, I mean it's about the traveling team. You know what I mean? AU, whatever it is, track, soccer. You start your kids off at age 5, 6, playing t-ball and soccer and all these other sports. But I don't think any parent really realize what they're getting themselves into. And you're at the mercy of the coach because you got a game in Wisconsin, then you got a game in Florida, then you have this. And I get it. Sometimes tournaments, you make it so far, your tournament may be anywhere. I get it. But sometimes you have to travel 4, 5, 6 hours for one game.
Regular in season
one game, yes.
Do
they do it during their week as well?
No, yeah. But sometimes you have to take your kid out of school early on a Friday to get there. Or sometimes you have to take your kids out of school on a Thursday. And it's not that. And I'm lucky, that we're fortunate enough to be able to do it for our daughter. But the bottom line is, what about the parents who can't? And the parents who have to work? And those parents, I mean, and like I said, you're at the mercy of the mercy of the coach, mercy of the league. I'm not saying that parents shouldn't, make their kids or let their kids play sports. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at one time you wanted your kid to be good. But now it's like you kind of want them to suck just so they'll be on the B team so you don't have to leave town every other fucking week.
Your pocket is suffering too.
You get what I'm saying?
With
yes.
All this traveling and
it's the stress. It's like you want them to win. You want them to win, but secretly you want them to lose so we don't have to go out of state. It's like you want them to win, but secretly you don't want them to win because you don't want to come back the next day. I'm kind of. I love the fact that my kid loves soccer. I love that fact, but I hate the fact that that you have to travel so much, and some parents can't afford it. Some parents can't afford it, and where do we stop? Where does parents get together and say, you know what, this is too much. This is too much. This is not what I signed up for. I signed up for my kids to get a good education in the sport they love.
Now, how much help does the government or the schools provide to the parents?
None.
Nothing.
I mean, you can play at school. You know what I mean? But everything is now on the AU life or the traveling life. It's like just too much. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, it's this.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't provide no help.
It's always something else, and everything costs. Everything costs.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. You got to travel. You got to put gas in there. You got to stuff for snacks, or you got to stuff for
not counting the hotels.
Dinner.
The hotels are 200 plus a night.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's not like you can select the date that you want to go.
So it's only like it's not like the best team, the best kid. The best kids that are playing soccer, or the best kids that are playing baseball, or the best kids that are playing basketball. It's the kids who can afford it. You're getting the best of that crew.
Gotcha.
Some of the real athletes can't afford it, and that's why you don't hear about
it. And this is the school teams, right? That you're referring to? This is like, you said A&E, right? Okay.
Traveling team. but the traveling teams get to do it more, and they play against different people, and they get different kind of training than the kids at schools.
But then finding like the room and everything is up to the parents.
Yeah, finding the, you mean the hotel rooms and stuff like that?
Yeah, and all that stuff.
You got people who run the league say, hey, guys, I found this hotel. This is hotel, like the team captain or the team, the team president or the person, it's usually a parent who's in charge of all. And we're doing a good job, with my daughter's team at least. It's a very good job being done, but it's still, you're at the mercy, and even the person who's running the team, who's doing it for the parents, they're even at a handicap because of the fact of the matter is they have to say, this is what we're doing, and they have to find a spot for all of us to stay. It's not stress-free on anybody.
Right.
Anyone. I just know there's other parents out there that's saying, that want to say, fuck, man, we got to do this. We got to go here now.
Oh, they got to be more. Yeah, they got to be more.
And then if you don't, then you're afraid if you don't let your kid participate, that it could be taken out on your kid. Now your kid won't start, or your kid won't be invited, or your kid won't. Your kid will be ridiculed by the rest of the team.
Repercussions on that.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
especially
just saying,
the parents that are they leave check by check. That gotta be hard on that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's parents out there have to believe, they have to feel the same way I feel. I'm gonna tell you, sure, I'm that parent. I don't go to all of them. I just don't. I mean, there's some in Flint, and then when they're from Flint, they go to
Wisconsin or something like that.
Well, I just came back from Wisconsin. I'm not gonna tell you the score, but I just went.
I think you told me.
Shut up.
I think you told me. Let's go. I was like,
so
no.
I'm just telling you. It's even if it's in state, it's still Flint one week. Then there's another week you're in Grand Rapids. Then it's still a long haul for working parent.
Right, a couple of hours.
You know what I mean? It's still a long haul for a working parent. To drive 3 hours away from home, to drive 3 hours back, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Who can afford it? Who can afford to take off a time? And what parent don't want to support their kid?
Especially when you got more than one kid.
Yeah.
Woo! Because you got more than one. So
yes, I got one basketball and one basketball, football, and this one soccer. She can't do anything else because soccer takes her all the time, and she doesn't really want to do anything else.
Makes sense. So outside of the higher tier training that you think that they get from it, or that you say that they get, what is the other perks that they get from being a part of the travel team? Is it like better scouting? Or?
Don't get me wrong. They have some great coaches. That put a lot of time into these kids. And I'm not just talking about soccer. I'm talking about just little league, period. It's like even 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds going 3 hours away to play a game.
Yeah. There got to be a better system for that.
And my daughter's 13. 13. Why does 13-year-olds need to take that much time out to go to Florida? 13-year-olds going to Wisconsin. 13-year-olds going to... There's so many teams around here that we can play.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, do they do it like local? Or?
And the only reason I am not that dad complaining that much, because my wife will kick my ass. But that's the only reason I don't complain that much. It ain't that, you know what I'm saying? You pick your back.
Oh, is he back?
Where is
he back?
He's drunk. He fell right by your leg. Yeah, people, if you're looking at this, we had a bad incident with a huge fly, and
he did now,
and we hit it, and we knocked it out. And I told Lorenzo it was going to come up on him, and it did.
And it did.
It did.
Right under the.
So yeah, I love the fact that my daughter loves it, really do, and
that helps though. That helps.
Yeah. She loves it, man. I my wife and I, we can't take it from her. My wife threatens her all the time. She's going to take it from her. But my wife loves the competition of it as much as my daughter does. I hate soccer.
But wait, no, I think we talked about
everybody
it. Everybody
knows it. I hate soccer.
We said it.
I hate soccer. But I think I hate soccer because I don't understand soccer. You know what I mean? I don't understand the rules. I don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Have you ever tried to like look it up and see if you can get into it?
No. There's Puerto Rican guys and Africans and shit like that. They
Brazilian.
I don't,
We only do it when the FIFA comes out. That's when we only do it. But the rest of the year we don't do it. Like,
I have no desire to chase that damn ball that much and then try to kick it. I played before though. I played with my my wife when I first met her. We played what do they call it, a bear league, or basically it's just like a co-ed league. We all play together. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was fun when you were playing it.
fun watching it.
And I was still fighting, so I used it as exercise. So when it was halftime, I just kept running. I ran around the course, but it was fun then, So I can understand why the kids like it. Don't get me wrong. I understand why the kids like it. But I hope they understand why I hate it.
So let me ask you this. So I know that it's crazy intense in the dance scene with the moms, the dance moms and all of that for the girls that do like the dance recitals. How's the parents in the travel league?
Oh, that's a good one. Are they? Oh,
what is it like being in that environment?
You gotta share the experience, man.
That's the biggest factor for me.
Hey,
like,
you gotta share
the traveling. I'll probably be okay with it if I got the money for it. But
are they decent or
parents?
They go nuts.
I'm trying to word this in a way that my wife don't kill me.
Brand, don't kill him. We gotta know.
If we gotta keep it safe, then we can talk about the opposite team.
Okay.
How are the parents overall?
Soccer parents are crazy. Soccer parents, they can either help you enjoy the game or they can make you hate the game.
What has been your experience so far?
I hate the game. I hate the game. It's I think team sports, especially when you're putting that much money into it, that much time and that much effort, I think team sports is supposed to bring you together. And so often, not our team specifically, but around the league, it tears adults apart opposed to bringing them together. It tears the team apart.
They take it more personally.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh,
they take it, and the kids feed off of their parents.
Yeah.
And like I said, not our team per se. Our team pretty much a lot of them get along, but you hear it from other teams and other not just soccer, basketball and football. Same. You have football parents in the stands just cussing and carrying on at refs who are not getting paid to be here. And the game won't happen if the refs don't show up.
Right.
So if any time the ref said, you know what, I'm not going out there for that abuse, the parents got to realize this game don't happen. A lot of these games in soccer are being reffed by teenagers and one adult or two adults, sometimes all adults, but sometimes teenagers. And if parents say, hey, my teenage son is not going out there for that abuse ever again, these games don't happen.
That's crazy.
These games don't happen.
It was getting down like that.
Yeah. And you have parents cussing at the refs, cussing at, bro, it's a game.
They ain't even the full adult yet.
You get what I'm saying?
Crazy.
I know. It is, and it's true though. I was listening to a prank phone call the other day because the parents from the team actually set it up for her because she just screaming at the referees and just saying bad words in front of the kids in kids' game.
Yes.
So in the prank phone call, she admitted that, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So when they finished and he told her like, yeah, that was a prank phone call, I was like, are you really swearing in front of the kids to the ref? Like, are you really doing that? And she's like, oh yeah, I know. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I just want to know.
Shameful though.
I just want to know why 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds are traveling 3 hours. I want to know why 13-year-olds are going repeatedly out of the state to play a game when you have hundreds of soccer teams around here that they can play. I'm just saying, why don't the soccer league around here? I mean, all of these soccer, you have all kinds of teams that these kids can play and get better. I just don't understand, and I do believe that the players that you see playing travel sports right now are not the best players that can play.
And that's what I was going to ask you too.
They are the players who can afford it.
Ooh, those parents can
So,
afford it.
so
Yeah.
when you see a really good player, that's a good player of who can afford it. It's not the best player of everyone. Not the best player of everyone.
That's putting
you know
a
what I
lot of
mean?
weight in parents though,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like 6, 7 year olds, like, and then your dad or your mom gotta or both gotta take time off to take care of other stuff, and that's a lot. That's
I
stressful.
take travel sport as kind of like I take private school. When I mean private schools, like you get a school to go to all black, all white schools, all whatever schools. And you are the valedictorian. What is that saying? I am the smartest black kid out there. But are you the smartest kid? Because you didn't challenge yourself against everyone. You challenge your kids as people of your own.
Right.
These kids who are good in the travel sports, are they that good? Or are they just really good compared to the people who can afford it?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
That's a good
How
question.
good would your kid be if they were playing against just the average Joe, just a person? Everyone can afford it. Everyone can afford to play soccer, play baseball, play hockey, play this. Everyone can afford it. Would your kid still be the best? I just think this is when you get a girl who's really elite, I think she's elite among the people who can afford it.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think it's like that on
Yeah.
every sport,
Yeah.
really, because like you said, it's for every great person, there's probably a person that only play local. He probably maybe at the park. He probably
Yeah.
the coldest person you ever seen,
Yeah.
but he never got that opportunity. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been the next Michael Jordan. You never know.
That's
You never know.
That's my point. That's my point. My trainer used to tell me the best person in every sport you've never seen, because either they couldn't afford it or the streets got him, but you've never seen the best person in every sport.
Mm-hmm.
The best person in every sport is that guy playing on the playground who just couldn't afford to come where you went. And I just think travel sports should be open to more. They should find a way to get more people involved in travel sport. That's what I think.
Do you think they have to do it less based on economy and more like how can we help every kid actually to get the best out of this group, like the best of the best, rather than like who can afford it, like you were saying?
Well, you ask yourself, why isn't soccer prevalent in Detroit? Because they're short athletes? Ask yourself, why is soccer and hockey not very prevalent in Detroit? Because it's predominantly black. A lot of people in Detroit can't keep up with the income of the people out in Canton, people out in Novi. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so the bottom line is short, they don't play the sport. But there's no doubt in my mind, there's quite a few athletes in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quite a few athletic kids in Detroit.
They just
I'm
can't
on that.
afford it.
They just
to
can't
be-
afford to play hockey, can't afford to play travel sport.
Now, it take me to another question now that we're talking about that. Like, from your experience and from what you have seen and lived, what do you think schools and government can do to help make this better?
You know what? I don't know. I have no clue what the government can do to make it better. I just know that we as parents, we have to find a way to get other people involved, and we have to not make it so stressful on families to be able to do what they do, because some families need that two-income home. They're two-income home, and they need two incomes to come in.
Yeah.
So and not only that, sometimes even if you don't need it, sometimes you're just tired and don't want to make a
3-hour drive.
yeah, or a flight to go to Florida, and then a hotel for 5 days, or a drive to Wisconsin. Sometimes you just don't have the time, the energy, or the money.
I agree. I don't even think it's a government thing. I think it's just
Yeah,
I think most of the time it's usually once one thing pop up and it works, people just don't want to try anything different. because you can easily get parents together. Well, you can't easily get parents together, but if
Start
people
fighting
came
over each
together, you
other.
can put together your own little league, and like you said, it could be local.
Yeah.
If the goal for the travel league is just to get more reps in, so you can get better, that's something you can do at home. Is just like I said, once
With the
something is
local-
established, yeah.
within 1 hour, the teams within 1 hour.
Now,
to
don't
each other.
get me wrong. As long as my daughter enjoy it, I'm going to continue to support it.
Mhm.
Continue to support it. I'm just throwing a question out there. Why?
Why can we make it better? Why can we find a better
6-7-year-olds going 3 hours away from home, 4 hours away from home to play any sport?
No, that's a good question.
Why are they making 13-year-olds who should be focused more on their school than their next sporting event? Why are we so into raising athletic students instead of student athletes?
Mm.
That's all I want to know. We put so much, when we think our kids are good at something, we will pull them out of school early so they can get to their game on time.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, why are we as parents allowing the coaches, the sport, to dictate the way we raise our kids?
Yeah, that makes you question yourself. It's like, okay, so are we helping the education or are we not? Because now I'm being taken earlier every other Friday or something like that to just make it on time to the other place. Also, it does a lot of stress. I'm already thinking. I'm already stressed.
Yeah. That's my point.
A lot of stress.
And-
you got to
and-
figure out your work schedule, and you got to
Yes.
and that can get people in trouble too, because not every boss or every employer will understand. Like, especially if they don't have kids, they don't give a shit. They're like,
look,
you asking for a day off like every other week or whatever.
Right. And it's, you just think about it. Our kids are born. We raise them up to do the right thing. We put them in school, let them know education comes first. By the age 10, we're pulling them out of school so they can get to their tournament, get to their game on time.
So we're
By
teaching
the age
them.
of 13, we're pulling them out sometime the whole day so they can fly out early or drive out early. And by the time they get to high school, if your kid really good at the elite level and then end up in college because of that, what have we taught them? We taught them as long as they can shoot a hoop, kick a ball, hit a ball,
Don't make it.
that comes first.
Mhm.
We are teaching our kids that, because even though we're not saying that, we're saying, well, we're pulling them out at half a day. That still sets a precedence on what our kids think by the time they're 18. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I believe. Now, you know, this is just our opinion.
Yeah.
No,
This is just
sure.
my opinion.
That take me to another
You
question.
get it? So we're pulling them out at age 13. By the time they're 18, on their way to college, what are we telling them? That if we can pull you out of school early because you have a soccer game, basketball game, football game, hockey game, and we see nothing wrong with it. That's the problem. We see nothing wrong with it, because if we see,
And society as a whole.
if
these
we
days.
see something wrong with it, we would be saying, as a group, as a unit, parents, we would be saying, look, I want my kids to know that they're a student athlete, not an athletic student. And they're never going to miss a day of school because of a sport.
So do you guys think that they're probably doing it to the point where like you kind of want them to make them professional before even time, like way too early, and that brings that situation where like now education comes to a second part, because that's basically what we're saying, and sports come first. Like we care about more about this than your education, because we need to take you out for this, and because it becomes a trend though. It happened one time and then they do it every other week, and so on, so on.
No, I think it's for sure a good chunk of parents that's probably doing it for their own sake. You know, like you said, they want their kid to be a pro, or they trying to benefit from it overall. And then I think it is parents that is concerned, like how you are, Coach, about it. And you are one of the parents that voice your opinion on it. But like you said, you're at the mercy of taking away your daughter's joy for it. You know what I'm saying? If you take her out of it. So you kind of stick a situation, it's a lose-lose.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it's a good chunk of people that do got big voices that's probably like, nah, I don't want to say nothing because it's going to take away what I get from the situation.
I think a lot of parents have looked at their kid and know their kid may not go pro, playing basketball, football, soccer. I think most of the parents, and I truly believe that, I think most of the parents just want their kids to be a part of something, part of something. And I believe 5, 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-olds who are now playing together at 13, 14-year-old, even if the parents can't afford it, they're going to do everything they can to keep the kid involved in the sport that they love with the friends they grew up with. You see what I'm saying? So the sport's not making it easier on them.
Yeah.
All the traveling, all that's not making it easier on them. It's not at all. What's happening is parents want to keep their kids involved, and kudos to those parents, and they'll do anything. Parents have taken out mortgages, second mortgages on their house to keep their kids involved, and that's a bonus to the parent. To the parent. What I'm saying is, what can we do as a society to make parents not have to do that? To say, my kid is a student, then an athlete, or my kids just want to play with everyone. But what's happening is the fact that if your kid decide to say, you know what, I'm not going. I mean, just if the parents say, look, it's just too much, then the next game your kid may not play, or your kid may start getting talked about by other teammates. It's like that stressful situation on parents. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Lose.
You know what I'm saying? If I go on this trip, I may not be able to pay my bills next week. Damn.
That might be late on some stuff or...
Yeah. If I don't go on this trip, my kids may pay. And every parent that's a good parent would rather struggle with their bills than to ever disappoint their kid.
Yeah, and
disappoint their kid.
And that's the sad part, because then the parents don't get no help for nobody.
Yeah.
But I think so, and also, like, from my opinion, though, my perspective, though, I do think that as a society in the world, we have put the sports completely first over education overall. Because if you start looking at it, sport, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love sports. I mean, I love it. And I watch it every time I got the chance. I watch it, I will go, I will support and all this stuff. But I think, and something that you were saying is like, we need to do everything and we will make everything. I think the limit part, by putting a limit to, like, okay, let's sit down as a league and think about the parents. Okay, how are these affecting the parents? Like, you know, to support the kids and stuff like that. Can they afford it? Like, what can we change the plan or what we're doing, you know, and keep practicing and all that stuff. But as a whole, we have to teach the society and these young kids that you will make more money being an athlete than doing any other professional in the world. So everybody want their kids to just be an athlete or something, because you're gonna make millions, bro. In 1 year, you're gonna make 55 millions or something like that. And everybody gets so upset with that. So now everybody from the kids that are young, they're try it out. Let's see where you're good at. So where can I put you there? Oh, well, here and there.
And that kind of makes sense too, because you think about it. I mean, it's something, I don't know, we ain't really talk about this, but remember they changed it now. You can make money as an athlete before you make it to the league.
Before you even make it to the league.
Name, image, likeness.
Nike, like Nike, Adidas, Reebok, whatever can sign you for $10 million and you didn't even make it yet.
Yeah.
It's like,
you could be in high school
the
still.
reason why is because you're selling $30 million worth of jersey in high school. You know what I mean? Or they want you to stay at their alma mater. They want you to stay at their college. So they're going to pay you to stay because your name is selling. Your image is great. And you're likable.
And that's
image, likeness.
And that's where I come from this, because, like, if you want to do any other profession, you don't get paid. You have to pay. Now you're in debt. You get out of school in debt. So it's like, okay, so if I do sports, you pay me if I'm good enough. But if I want to do any other profession to help save life or anything else, I pay you. And I'm in debt for whatever many years.
That's crazy.
Let me throw something out there.
So, it's crazy when you think about it.
You see, there's a lot of Black folks playing soccer in other countries, right? You see it. In the United States, there's not very many Black people playing soccer. Do you know why in the other countries? Because that's all they do and it's free for them. It's free.
Mhm.
They're playing soccer from the time they were born. They have a soccer ball. Crazy. Did you see the picture that they had that was throwing bricks?
Throwing bricks.
Listen, throwing bricks.
As
He was- yeah,
training.
for pitching. He was catching while he was squatting with all kinds of crazy things. It was so intense that he was doing this because he didn't have the proper things to train with. That some of the Major League Baseball players got money and brought his buddy here and started working with him with good equipment, getting them good equipment to play with, to train with. Soccer was for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see a lot of the countries have a lot of different black people on their team. Expensive, so expensive, and a lot of black people don't have that kind of money to put into it. You know why the black people make so much basketball? I mean, make good basketball players because it's free. They can go to a playground. They can just hoop, 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 hoop all day long. All they need is a rim and a ball. And the people in the neighborhood is what makes you better.
True.
Yeah.
People in the neighborhood,
Toughest cop.
that old 35-year-old
And that support too.
who's didn't make it in basketball because either the streets got him,
Or some injury.
or streets got him, or the injury.
Mm.
He's in
Couldn't
there
afford
playing
it.
with them boys, or couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Couldn't afford college, so he just did what he had to do. And now he's on the basketball court in the park playing with these kids.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Getting them game.
So all I'm saying is you see the best of the best when they're all playing on the same field. That's when you see the best of the best. When you have one playing in from this demographic, the other one playing from this demographic, and then you have the middle. The one who can afford some but can't afford it all. One, this demographic, can't afford much of any. That's why you see them all. Put all of those people together and you find a great athlete.
Yeah. Now,
Boxing, you find great athletes. You know why? Because it's cheap. It's cheap. And everybody can try it. And you find the best of the best. You find the best of the best.
you normally can find a gym that will give you a chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And if you see potential in somebody, hey,
So
I'll give you a hand.
I believe that the people who make the team is the one who can afford it. The one who can afford it. The one who say yes to everything the coaches are saying.
No, I
That's
agree.
what travel
yeah,
is
I
all
can agree
about.
with that. Yeah. That's true.
The parent who says yes to everything, the person will always make the team. The person who questions everything has to be over the top good. Over the top good to make the team.
Yeah, you gotta show like super
Yeah,
talent
yeah,
so they can
yeah.
just make exceptions
They
with
have to
him
be the
and
best
stuff
of the
like
best.
that. Like,
And then they can question anything. If you're good, you can question something. If you're just a player, you can't question anything.
Mm.
Elite can question everything.
That's facts.
Good can question something.
Yeah, you see that in the highest level of it.
yeah, you see that
Look
in
at-
the
look-
professional leagues.
Look
That's
at
the
LeBron
truth.
James.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you see
That's
that in the
it.
professional leagues.
Mhm.
That's it.
Now, one last question before we even go, because we're already in the topic. So, do you guys think, and this is something that's been lately on fire on social media in the last couple of weeks, do you guys think, or what's your opinion on like, does education is important these days? Do you need to go to college these days and have 4 or 5 years
No.
degrees?
Nah, I say no too.
No, right? Okay.
I think-
we're on
I
the same
think-
page.
I
Yeah.
think we need to bring back more alternative ways for you to build something before
Yeah.
you even decide to go to college. Like they used to have VOTEC and stuff
I
like
don't
that.
know the stats, but I'd like to know the stats. I know you're a big time stats person and you look this stuff up, but I'd like to know how many people who go to college per year get their degree and end up having a job that has nothing to do with their degree.
Oh, the ones that end up working on something else?
Yeah.
It's a hot.
A little bit over 80%.
Yeah. Working.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
It's a
read an
ridiculous
If you're
stat.
not doctor,
Yeah.
lawyer, dentist, or something like that,
Yeah.
how many people go and get a degree for this but doing something else?
And we don't have a lot of people trying to get those professionals no more. So
I would never force my
it's-
kids. I would never force my kids to go to college. Never.
It's basically, and that's what I was telling you earlier. Like, it's not necessary no more. Like, we just put other things
Hold up, though.
up front of.
I force my kids to have a plan.
Oh, no, of course,
Have a plan.
Definitely.
If you're not going to go to college, find yourself a trade and check yourself into it. Because if you don't find yourself a trade, come up with a plan, guess what? Then you find yourself another place to live. So it's pretty simple. You don't have to have my plan, but you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
Have to have a plan.
Something to start building from there.
When I left my mom's house, I have a plan to become a fighter. That's what I did. My son, my daughter, they have to have a plan. Doesn't have to be me or mama's plan. Mama's plan is to go to college. Daddy's plan is to come up with a plan. That's daddy. But you don't want to go to college? All right, check this out. You got to come up with a plan, though, right? So if you already decided not to go to college, then you've already decided your plan. Let me hear your plan. Now, when you come up with a plan, you have to execute. That's what I believe in every kid should do. You can't, you know what they say about a plan? If you come up with a plan and you don't have any effort behind it, it's called a dream. It's called a dream. That's what it's called. I got a plan. That's goals. Goals without a plan is called a dream. I got a goal to be a boxer. I don't have a plan to get there though. It's called a dream.
Yep.
Come up with your goals without a plan. Come up with a goal. Then come up with a plan to reach your goal. Plan, goals without a plan is called a dream.
Yeah, and I think also there needs to be incentive. If you want people to go to college, you gotta incentivize, like, because sports pay you, and then you want people to, we need more lawyers, we need more doctors, we need more dentists, we need more this and that. But it's like, but the problem is that they go to college and they end up like in freaking debt for the next 10, 12 years.
Yeah, I don't think the schools can.
They don't even make money out of it.
They're going to just hit you with the job is going to incentivize you. You know what I'm saying? Like sign-on bonuses and all of the extra stuff. But you got to, I mean, honestly, if you're going to go, you're just going to have to be okay with niching down. Because I think I read an article like either this week or last week that said about 40% of the stuff you can go to college for is a waste.
I think you can learn that shit.
The remaining amount is niches. And that's usually something that's super expensive, like you said, going to be a doctor or something like that. So if you ain't going for something that's a guaranteed need for society, then...
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone to college. I didn't go to college. I wouldn't have gone because my attention span would have got me kicked out. I don't have the attention span for college. I just tell you the truth. You know,
short.
Yeah.
We saw it with The Fly.
I'm young at the time going to college. I'm young. In a new area. There would be women drinking and no books. I just wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have made
university life.
Yeah, I had to grow up. I had to grow up to realize that I chose the right path for me because I know college wasn't it. I had no desire to go back to school, none whatsoever.
But you also know why I think that's absolute at this point is because with all the technology that's keep coming, like what you learned 5 years ago after you graduate, it's already absolute, and you gotta learn some new shit.
Especially with marketing.
So you go out to that profession. You go out to that profession, and you gotta relearn everything because you're like, oh shit, we don't use this program no more. No, I'll give you a training for 2 weeks though, and then we learn on the flight. It happened to me a lot. I was like, oh, we don't. Whatever.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm almost at the point where I would discourage my kids from going to a 4-year college. I'm serious.
I wouldn't want them to waste their time.
I almost wish my daughter can go in trade school and do what she wants to do, but she can't. She has to go to college to be a teacher, to work with the people she want to work with. My son, on the other hand, he can go to a trade to do what he wants to do. You know what I mean? And that could change. He's only 14, so that could change. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the bottom line to it is the fact that whatever he decides, I'll support him 110%. Whatever she decides, I'll support him 110%. I wish they just say, Dad, I'm done with travel sports. But it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But bottom line is to it, I'm glad they're having fun in travel sports, man. I just wish everyone could do it. I just wish that the coach didn't expect so much of the parent. And I hope they could understand if the coach is the only thing they're doing is coaching soccer, they don't understand what it's like to be us. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand what it's like to be us and not being able to go and see our kids play when they're in Florida.
Yeah, I think they can be like a better plan. I think that they can organize.
You
that.
have two kids. You have two. One of your kids doing this and the other one's doing that. The wife has to go out of town with your daughter because of dance, but you have to stay home with your son, but you can't go to support your daughter. Your son has to go out of town for football. You have to go support your son because your wife has to stay home with the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this got split up. Like
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
oh, that was me.
Yeah.
There you go. Bam.
Yeah.
Back up.
So
It's just that.
I'm just saying. I just think it should be more of a family thing than it just divides you too much.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you have to say, I have to be here and I have to be here and this one have to be here and this one have to be here. It's not bringing families together anymore. It's not bringing friends together anymore.
You think that might
'cause
be
you're all over the
might be
place.
one of the reasons why people will start fighting? The parents start fighting with the referees. Maybe that anger is there, and they're just like
it
probably
you
play a
gotta do
role.
something. You start thinking about it. You know,
could be,
people
it could be a
hold
lot of
it.
everything. I'm serious. It could be a lot of
Yeah.
everything, you know?
It can be part of it.
Nah, you know what? The parents are just crazy. Ain't got nothing to do with
But
them.
hey,
No.
we gotta close this out, guys.
Yes, yeah.
But don't forget, what do you think about all this? What is your opinion? Let us know. What do you think?
Especially if you're a parent to feel the same way I do.
If you're a parent, you got a kid or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. Just let us know. Don't forget, subscribe, follow. We also on Instagram. This is just my opinion, people.
Just my opinion.
Every time I go say something, it's because I'm real explosive and it's something because I'm right, yeah. And I really don't care that I'm funny.
I think low key we kind of hit on what the issue is. Options.
Yeah.